Hello, word nerds! Happy Sunday and welcome to our weekly live chat. This week, like last week, we are checking in on all things Camp NaNoWriMo, which we're all participating in varying levels. So to start off, we'll just kind of check in, see how everyone's last week did, and we'd love to hear how you guys did in the last week of NaNoWriMo and how you're hoping to do in the week coming up. So let us know in the comments, and we will definitely be checking that out as the chat progresses. So, Kaylin, how'd it go?
Still not so well. I think that's me. Hold on. Oh, echo. Friday at the word sprint, I actually did get, I think during the word sprint I only got like 700 words written, but then I was already like in the zone, so I wrote until like 3 a.m.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I was very happy that we decided to do that, and we had a great turnout, but I'm still way behind on my goal, so I need to step it up or modify my goal down a little bit.
How about you, Emma?
This week was pretty good. Like, the first part of the week was really good. The past couple days I haven't done as much because I just haven't been home. But I increased my word count this week because on Wednesday, so exactly 1 week into camp, I had already like reached halfway, so I went ahead and increased it from 10,000 to 15,000.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't here for last week's chat, but I ended up kind of switching from writing to editing for the first half, and then on the 15th I'll kind of switch over to writing. But I've almost finished all of the editing I wanted to do for a project I started forever ago, and then I don't remember what I wrote, so I'm doing editing for now, and then we'll jump back into the story once I'm a little more oriented with what's going on. So, any other cool, exciting things going on in your worlds? Emma was just telling us all about her amazing bookish job and all of the books she gets at her library gig.
Pretty great.
And not to mention, she got to spend the weekend with Megan, so
yes, I'm so jealous.
My weekend
at the beach. That's nice.
Yeah. Nothing super exciting going on here. So I'm building my new bookcase today after Word Nerds. So then I'll probably.
You got a new one?
Yeah, so it's the 4-high one that's right behind me again. So it'll go up beside the mugs on the other side, and then, I don't know. I might do like one shelf for library books and my notebooks, and then one shelf for writing books, and then start the alphabet after that. We'll see.
They're also the prettiest bookshelves ever. I love them. I'm so jealous of them.
I love them too, but I need to read from them more. Like I've been really into the library lately, but there are so many books on my shelves that I have shelves that I haven't read. So I need to check that out. Right, trying to get over to the comments here, see if there's anyone joining us. We'll probably keep it pretty short today, as we're just doing a quick check-in, but I am trying to organize some sort of bookish trivia for next week. It's everyone's big reward for continuing on through camp and not quitting.
Yeah, I'm not quitting yet.
No, you're not quitting.
You're not quitting at all.
I'm a lot, but I'm not quitting. I'm not going to quit. I mean, technically, I can still do it because, let's see what my Camp Nano says. My goal for this month was only going to be 20,000 words, which is nothing compared to the 50,000 of Nano in November, but
not even
so according to exactly, and that's why I think it's so important to keep that calendar too for me, because I can see, oh, I haven't written that much, but I have the entire month left. So according to Camp Nano, I need to write 929 words a day to stay on par, and that seems like it's so easy, but then you sit down to write and you're like,
that's less than November's.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a couple more like nights like the write-in where you get really into it and get a bunch of the way so that daily count goes down for the rest of the month. I want to do another write-in as soon as possible since I couldn't go to the last one. And I really need that just like sit down and write right now.
Yeah, I was only there for like 2 sprints on Friday, so.
So after we signed off on Friday, Eric and I had a really good idea that we should do at least one more sprint by the end of the month, but we need to make it a challenge sprint. So as we go, if you don't beat the word count from your previous sprint, you have to do a dare or like a truth or dare kind of thing. So like you're competing against yourself. Because at first we were like, oh, whoever has the less words. I'm like, that's going to be me every time.
Or me.
And that's not fair. So I'm like, how about we compete against ourselves, and then if we have to write more than we did the last sprint.
Because then Erica will never lose.
Exactly.
We're competing against each other. and I will always lose.
That could be a lot of fun. So we'll definitely do another one, because it seemed like it went really well, and I don't know. I wouldn't even mind doing these outside of Camp and Nano every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Button chair, and there are just people right there looking at you, knowing if you're like, you're not looking at your screen.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely different. It was my very first write-in, like virtual at all, and it was oddly competitive at the same time, because it's like at first I got really nervous because I'm like, oh my god, all these other people are going to be writing too, and then I think the most I'd written in a sprint was only 200 words, but then you have people, you guys in the comments, somebody had like 700 words, and like somebody wrote like 3,000 words total in the 2 hours that we did it, and I was like, you guys are so much faster than me. So I kind of, I zoned in a bit. I just can't turn off my editor. I want to edit as I go, and I know that I can't. So yesterday or Friday, there's a lot of parentheses in that little bit that I written of things that I have to go back and like add in and flesh out a little bit more.
But that's okay too, like especially with Camp Nano where it really is anything goes. But I think even with NaNoWriMo, if you really like, if your main goal isn't just writing as many words as possible, like you want it to be something you're happy with, a little editing isn't going to kill you. But except maybe when you're sprinting, especially if you're like challenging yourself to beat word counts and stuff. But for the most part, I'm not as anti-editing as I'm supposed to be for Nano. So we have a few comments. Just gonna refresh so I don't miss any. Oh, there was 3 comments and now I'm only seeing 2. Kel says hi. Hi, Kel.
Hello.
And Tim's first week didn't go not so well. Shifted projects to something new and now getting back to the swing of writing. So hooray for shiny new ideas. Why not?
I have a love-hate relationship with shiny new ideas. They're always so exciting, but they always come like when you're not supposed to get them.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want to work on them. But that was part of the cheat from last week's Nano video, too. So whatever words you write, no matter what project it's in, they count this month.
Yeah. So I think it was in April that I was trying to do at least 1,000 words every day. And I ended up starting like 5 different projects over the course of the month because it's so much easier to write the beginning of a book. So like I just have to write something. So that's where I was like, maybe just try to set a specific word count goal isn't going to get you as far as it could. Yeah. It wasn't even like shiny new ideas. It was just like, okay, I don't know what else to write on this, so I'll write something else. Oh, Kel asked, what kind of questions are you allowed to ask today? If you got questions, go for it.
Yep.
Hard when there's only 3 of us.
We will answer that to the best of our ability.
Jump in with anything, not crazy, but
You'll get answers. I can't promise they'll be amazing answers, but you'll get answers. Let's see.
So yeah, any specific goals for you guys this week outside of like set number of words, like you're trying to get to a certain point in your book, or?
I think I'm gonna take our advice from the video from last week, and I'm going to write out of order because the first part of my book, because I write with beat sheets, so the setup part A is already completely written, but that's what I've been doing. I've been going through there and like fleshing stuff out, and I need to actually write. And I think I finally have the ending like in some sort of like constructive order. So I'm thinking about diving into that and then just writing that first. And that way I'll be able to connect, the setup down to the ending. Because right now it's like I'm hung up. Yeah, I'm hung up though because I'm not entirely sure how it's going to end, so I don't know what to do in the middle. And I just don't want it to be like a saggy middle, and I need to boost out that workout.
So yeah, if you write the end, you know where you're headed, so it makes it a little easier to draw yourself a roadmap. Cal asked, should we say our word count so far? Please do. Like, we'd definitely love to hear them. So. I have not been actually editing my word count in...
I haven't either. I should have, but... Because usually the graphs are a big motivation to me, but I'm too far down now, so like the line's up here and I'm like all the way down here.
The graph is only a motivation to me if I started out doing well. I've noticed that. Like, if, you know, the first few days I've been, like, doing really well, then the graph starts motivating me because I want to keep it above the line. But if I start out below the line, then it's too discouraging to look at it.
It's like, I'll never get there.
Yeah, because I'm above the line. I've been above the line the whole month. And now, like, if I look at it and I see that it's at the same spot it was at yesterday, I'm like, I have to make it taller.
That's why I love the graph so much. That, although I
mainly
mainly
like
use my
you can
Excel
go in and you can like edit the word count for the day, because sometimes I forget to do it until the next.
Oh, I love that so much. I always hated when you couldn't. It's just so much pressure to like at 11:55. And I also want to like write until midnight, but I can't if I want to like make sure my word count gets updated. So.
And I usually count like anything that I write before I go to bed. So even if it's like 12:30, I still count it for the day before.
I do that too sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. A new day starts when I wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
The Luke Skywalker 2 says, having been gone for 2 weeks, I have a lot of rough draft in my notebook. I just need to get it on my document. My goal for this week is to type up everything I have and write what I've skipped. I really want to start writing in a notebook more. Like, Erin swears by it.
I like it a lot. That's what I did, like, yesterday and today. I wrote in the car while we were driving back and forth to see Megan.
I can't do that. I get so sick. I hate it.
I don't. So, and I, like, wrote some last night because I knew I wouldn't have my computer with me, so it was good that I had that with me.
And it seems like a good self-editing tool that if you're writing one draft and then you have to reread it and type it in, you can fix it as you go.
That's how I do it. My ideas start in written form, and then I'm completely computer. And then once I get the first draft done, and then I'll handwrite it out, because my brain will slow down with my handwriting, so I'll be able to find all those awkward sentences and like cardboard dialogue and make it sound a little bit better for the actual like polished first draft.
Yeah. Because I know, like, when it comes to the advice of like read your story out loud, I don't have the patience for it ever. Even though I know it's like great advice and you'll find a lot of things, I don't know. I feel like if anything, I'm doing it on autopilot, like I'm not even listening to myself.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, all right, let's get through this.
I can only do it in small.
Yeah. But then it takes forever. Like if you're trying to read a whole manuscript out loud, that is like, I don't know. It takes me days and days to listen to audiobooks, like of actual time. So.
I tried doing that once, and I tried recording myself so I can listen to it back. I got like 2 days into it, and like my throat started getting hoarse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah, everyone swears by that, but I wonder how many people actually do it.
Yeah.
Kel's word count so far is 20,342. Ember Hart has 23,461.
Wow.
My goal is 28,000, and I'm nowhere near there.
I have a little over 7,000.
If it's more than you would have written otherwise.
At like 3,000. I haven't employed the butt and chair, hand on keyboards method yet, though. Like, I need to sit down and actually write. Because I've been thinking about my characters a lot. My head's always, like, in it. And, like, usually I'm really big with writing every day. But lately I've been counting, like, oh, this is a really cool scene idea. So I'll write down, like, 2 lines in my notebook and then just forget about it. Like, that doesn't count as writing. I need to actually write this month.
Kel has a question. The next book she writes might be a sci-fi, so she wanted to ask about names. What are some rules? Make them easily pronounceable. Make it so you can remember them easily. Any tips?
I think the biggest issue I have with complicated names, like if I can't pronounce them, that's not a huge issue. I know that I think it was Throne of Glass had like a glossary in the back of the book that actually told you how to pronounce everything. It's if they sound too similar.
Yeah, I was
Two
about to say
names
that.
sound too similar. That's my big issue.
Yeah. I will never know how Sauron and Saruman made it into the same book, ever. Like,
There's so many characters in those books that have similar names.
and I know I've broken that rule myself on more than one occasion. Well, not that they sound similar, but like the same first letter or something, and I know I shouldn't do it. And then it's hard once you're like, their names are set in your head. And you're just like, these are these people. I can't rename them. That's what their parents called them. So.
I mean, a good piece of advice I've seen before for like fantasy and sci-fi is like base it off of a real name. Don't just like stick some like sounds and letters together.
Yeah, like
or
something
based
that,
off of something real, like
yeah,
a word
that people can
or
attach it to something they're already familiar with.
yeah. So it doesn't sound like you just put gibberish together.
No. Names are hard though. I'm so like, I know I should just use baby names more, but I don't know. I just go to the same names every time. So I'm like, nope, I've used that one before.
Yeah.
And that one.
I, for some reason, always go to the name Ethan for a boy. And I'm like, no, wait, all right, I'm still going to write my Alien YA, and that is the character's name in that. I cannot use it. I'm not changing it. Like, that's his personality fits with that. But my main issue is I think of a name, I'm like, oh, I really like that name for, like, a future human child. But then I think of a book idea, and I'm like, okay, that name's now going to be this character, so I'm screwed. I'm never going to have any more kids.
Oh, she also asked, do you have any tips for changing names when you're already stuck on a name in your head for the characters? No. Find a name you like just as much. Like.
Yeah, I changed the name, but it wasn't a huge change. I changed the name from Ian to Ethan. So it still had that same, like, sound to it, but it was different enough. I don't know.
Like,
that's a hard one.
One of the authors I book managed for, her main character's name was Pandora, but it's a Brothers Grimm kind of book, so the name was confusing. So it didn't really make sense. You expect a Greek mythology thing, not a Grimm. But she changed the name to Dora, so it's because people were like they were already using Dora as a nickname anyway, so it's just kind of changing them all, which made it a little easier. But it's hard. You get to know the characters one way, and then. I'm not sure what else to cover today.
Let's see. Where's my email?
No. The Dimari09 says Kavoth from the name of the wind threw me off, but then grew on me. Yeah, that happens to me with a lot of names that especially like ones you haven't heard before. It just takes a few chapters to make it actually feel like a name rather than I don't know how to say this word. If you think of like the names used in Harry Potter and stuff, a lot of them are names you encounter in day to day.
Yeah.
But now Hermione totally feels like
and a lot of her names are found somewhere in like mythology. Yeah.
Alright, checking comments again. I'm refreshing this every few seconds. Oh, Ember Heart's main character's name is Pandora. I do love the name, and I'd love to write some sort of like Pandora's Box story eventually. But
that'd be cool.
It's hard to know what to do with it besides the original. Alright, this may be a really short chat, guys. You got like the 3 quietest word nerds tonight, so but we're here anyway because we wanted to see all of you. And I don't know, I think with camp or having check-ins and like it's that accountability thing of like, okay, you have to say how you're actually doing, and then you're gonna have to say how you're doing next week too. So slacking off this week. Although next week I think we will try to plan more of an event rather than just
I think now though it's important to do the check-in and to connect with like writing friends online because you're in that almost third week now, and this is when that word count starts to slow down and you start to get just a little bit discouraged, and it's so easy to say that you're gonna quit, but don't ever quit.
That's what me and Erica will be talking about this week.
There you go.
You guys have all that wrapped up?
Yeah. I think Erica's still editing it. I don't know if she's said anything about it yet.
I'm excited.
Because yeah, even if you're like already ahead, I think around this point it's really easy to like get complacent about it. Because I know like I've been ahead this whole time, but like the past like 3 or 4 days, I've been like, I don't need to write as much because I'm already ahead. Like, so it's really easy to like to quit even if you're already ahead.
Especially if you've been doing well consistently, it's that one day you miss and it just feels like, oh well, everything's ruined. So, yeah. I'll try again next month. One day is not the end of the world.
Yep.
Kel asked this during the write-in, but wanted to ask again because there are more people here. How can I get over finishing a book after working on it so long? Give yourself a reward and a break.
Yeah.
Read one of your favorite books or a book you've been dying to read. Like, let yourself separate out from those characters for a little while.
I would definitely do some reading.
That's all I want to do in the summer. Like, I'll be right back. It sounds like the dogs just fell down the stairs.
Oh my goodness. We're having some dog issues on our live chats.
Oh man. When I was at Megan's parents' house, they have like 3 dogs at their house, plus Megan's dog was there. So there were just dogs everywhere. Because they have like their 2 dogs plus a foster dog.
Let's see.
Did you guys just sit here in silence the whole time I was gone?
I'm trying to read through the comments, yeah. I'm reading through what you said, or what you already read. Cal actually has a good question about if we have any tips for writing death scenes, about how to make it more emotional, and when it's necessary, how to make it more memorable. Crying. Dudes crying.
Yeah. Dudes crying, yeah.
And I'd definitely say, like, the death itself, like, sometimes it's the way the death is written, but a lot of times it's the way you've learned to love the character before the death. Yeah. So, yeah, so it's a lot of what you do before the death scene that really matters. Because, like, Fred Weasley's death, sorry, spoiler alert, Fred Weasley's death is, like, it's very short. Yeah, it's a very short thing, like, you know, it's very much kind of said in passing, but you love him so much that it
I was gonna compare his death to who's it, Lavender, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really sad that she died, but like, oh my God, there's one less Weasley, the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
George doesn't have his twin. What do we do? Every time I go to Weasley's Wizard Weezes, I just get really sad.
It's hard to be sympathetic because that's the thing you get to do a lot.
I realized that as I was saying it. I was like,
every time you get to go.
Every time I go there.
Yeah, like that's probably some of the best input I've heard on writing death scenes. That like it really is the character more than how you write a particular scene. That it's the characters that you love that you're gonna mourn the hardest, no matter what.
Yeah, I would say it's the how you've built the character beforehand, and it's the way that the remaining characters react. Those are the 2 things that affect you the most. It's like Harry's
reaction is the more direct reaction because well, I think the first instinct is that the characters like set up throughout the story, and then when the death happens, you're like, oh my God. But then it's the reaction of the other characters that really like hone it in.
Yeah. Like Harry's reaction, to go back to Harry Potter, Harry's reaction to Sirius's death is really heartbreaking. Like, that's a lot of what made that death so sad, was the way he reacted to it and his anger and everything.
Yeah. Harry Potter has way too many death examples. It's just awful.
Yeah. And really emotional death examples. And it's one that I always feel like I'm not going to be spoiling people if I say anything.
Yeah. And it's also so universal that, like, most people will get the reference.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas anything else, people are going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep.
Many, many thanks to Cal for giving us so many questions and giving us things to talk about tonight. She also asked, I've always been scared of sharing things. I wrote in fear of plagiarism, but I'm starting to want to share things a lot. Any tips on how to get over this fear?
I think it is really tricky because I used to have that same paranoia, like, oh, if I put this out, someone's going to steal it. But there are definitely things to protect you and your writing. Like, I know Erin had to deal with it over on Wattpad a little while ago about someone, like, straight up copy and pasting her story into, another story on Wattpad and claiming as their own. I think no matter what stage you are in the writing world, like, the further you get, the higher your chances are of being plagiarized. But I just think putting my work out there has been one of the most exciting things that I've ever done. Yeah. And, like, because of that, like, other steps I've taken, and then I met, the word nerds and everything. So definitely Wattpad is probably a good place to start, just to putting short stories or just bits of your story out there.
Yeah. And just knowing that places like Wattpad and just in the world in general, it's not acceptable and it's not allowed. And so if it does happen, there are steps you can take. Like, if you put your story online and someone tries to publish it as a real book, it's not going to happen. It'll be okay.
Yeah, and, like, part of it's like, if you put it online, there is right there, everyone can see it. It will be timestamped with when you put it up there, so there's no way for someone else to argue. But at the same time, like, it is a big, big, big world out there with thousands and thousands of people putting themselves on Wattpad and fan fiction and who knows what, that, like, I don't know how to say this nicely, that for everybody, that, like, odds are no one's going to plagiarize you. Like, there's so many stories out there, the odds are just so slim that it's not enough to hold you back. Especially because you can protect yourself if anything happens. And, like, because people are so sensitive about it now, there's going to be a lot of people, like, if you put your story out there and people love it and they see it somewhere else, they'll tell you. Like, they've got your back as well. So, like, everyone wants to see everyone else do well, legitimately, rather than stealing other people's stuff. It's just the risk is so small, and if anything does happen, you can deal with it. It's not going to be the end of your story, the end of your career, anything. It'll hopefully be the end of someone else's. So. All right, we'll probably wrap this up soon. Keep this one kind of a half chat, but.
And I think one of the important things to remember, especially with Camp Nano, and that it's very different from regular Nano, is something that Emma brought up before the chat, is that she actually had to raise her word count. I was talking about lowering my word count, and you can do that. Like, you don't have to stick to the actual goal that you set at the beginning of the month. The point is just to get stuff written. Think of it as like a warm-up to Nano in November.
And very much the point of camp is to get in the habit of writing every day. So as long as you can set a goal that will get you writing every day, that's what you want. And that's why I increased mine, because I didn't want to reach 10,000 and then be lazy and not write for the rest of the month.
So what's your new goal? 15, you said?
Yeah, 15.
That's awesome.
Because I know I've slowed down some. Like, I didn't want to completely double it, because part of the reason my word count is so high is because of July 3rd, which was like a federal holiday because of July 4th being on a Saturday, and I got a ton of writing that day when I was off work. So, and I don't have another holiday off, so I probably won't get that much again.
I do think July's camp is always the hardest. I'm bad at summer. Like, I just want to be outside and be reading and.
Well, yeah, I was telling you guys about all the books we got at work this past week, and I want to read all of them, and I don't have time to read any of them.
Yeah. So, if you're making good habits, you really do have to keep it up, even when, there's a million other things you want to be doing. That if you take your writing seriously, you gotta treat it seriously. So, but easier said than done sometimes.
Yep. And things come up.
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
Inevitably.
if something came up at the beginning of the month and you got behind because of it.
It's hard when it happens at the beginning of the month because it's just like, whole month is ruined. But
I know Megan's having trouble because she moved at the beginning of the month,
Yeah.
so she got behind because of that.
Sorry, Beth Revis posted a picture of her dog onto Instagram, so distractions. All right, was there any other comments or anything we want to get to before we wrap up for the night?
I think right now it's just staying focused is a really key thing to start. I was going to say focusing on. I just said focus like 8 times. So clearly I'm not focused.
Oh, yes.
But definitely stay on track. Don't let yourself falter. Write every day. I don't even care about how much I write. If I meet my goal, that's awesome. I would love to meet my goal, but I just need to make sure that I get stars on my calendar every day.
And utilize your cabin and Twitter for like just people cheering you on, and make sure to cheer other people on as well. And just like, you know, if you write 1,000 words, tweet about it and just put it out there in the world. You might get a couple virtual high fives for it, and it makes you feel like, oh, this is fun. I'll do this again.
NaNoWriMo has word sprints. I think 2 or 3 times. I think it's twice a week. They have sprints.
No write-ins.
The virtual write-ins, I think twice a week, but they have sprints. I think like every day.
Going on most of the day.
Yeah. Sprints just keep going.
So if you're ever in need of inspiration, just jump on there. Follow the Camp NaNoWriMo hashtag and see what people are writing, see what they're doing.
All right, I think that's us for today. We will, of course, have videos all week long and a video on the official NaNoWriMo YouTube channel from Emma and Erica on Wednesday, so be sure to check that out. We will see you all next Sunday for something along these lines or something, I don't know. We'll figure it out. There's going to be something on Sunday, and you should all be there because this is always a lot of fun. And I love hearing how everyone's doing. It makes me want to do better. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.